Hi, this is Roger from Red Fox, and we're bringing you the first part of Module 1 of Excel for absolute beginners. We've put this together to give our business clients and anyone who wants to have a look an idea of where you start with Excel. And this is really right back to basics. We don't assume any previous knowledge. We only assume you know how to open the program. We're working with Excel from Office 2007, and it's got a familiar look. It's got this thing up the top called the ribbon, and the ribbon has a whole lot of icons that you can click to get it to do things. Don't worry too much about those, and each ribbon changes depending on the menu item you click at the top. So we're on the home ribbon, and that's where we're going to stay for a while. We're not going to do anything else outside of the home ribbon. And you'll see here I've written addition and subtraction, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Addition and subtraction. This is a series of cells, or pigeonholes if you like, made up in a form of a grid. There are three grids: sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So let's call them sheets from now on. This is a sheet of cells, and the cells are identified first of all by the column, which has got a letter at the top, and there are a whole lot of them out there to the right, and secondly by the row, which has got a number on the left hand side. And again, there are thousands of those going down. You will never run out unless you do something amazingly huge. So let's start off by showing how we move around the spreadsheet. We click on E3, and we see that's where we are because we've got a highlight there on the E and we've got a highlight there on the 3, and up here it tells us we're in cell E3. Now let's put something in the cell. Let's put 75 in that cell. We just type in the number 75 and then press enter. Hey, that was easy, wasn't it? Let's add something else. Let's put something down here. We're moving down into cell E4, the one below, just like we add things up in a column. We're going to put 98 in there. Okay, we're going to see what they add up to. Now the way we're going to do this is we're going to put a formula in cell E5, the next one down. And you'd probably do this at school with just a pencil and paper. What we're going to do is we're going to put a formula in there which starts with a mathematical operator, and it's always equals. In Excel you start a formula with equals, and then Excel knows this is going to be a formula. You're going to do something with numbers the minute you put equals there. Okay, so we're going to equals, we're going to take the first number that we put up there, number 75, which is in cell E3, and you can see it says up there equals E3. It says it in the cell down here, it says equals E3, and you can see there's a little box around E3. And we're going to add to it, and we hit the plus sign, and then we choose E4. So now it says E3 plus E4, so we're adding them together. We press enter, and there's the answer, 173. Show you a little trick here. If we want to make that look tidy, and I've already pre-formatted this column to what we call our counting format, and the way we do that is we just click on the letter at the top, which highlights the whole column all the way down, right click on that highlighted area, and we choose format cells down there, left click on format cells, and over here you'll see number is the first tab, and I've chosen accounting with no decimal places, and we change decimal places by clicking the up and the down. And I haven't chosen any currency symbol. I don't want a currency symbol in there, so I've got none. So that's been formatted to accounting, and the reason I've done that is because it makes the numbers line up beautifully. And it also enables you to do this. Under the 98, I want a little underline, and I do it by going to the U with the underline. When I hover over it, you see it tells me what it is. It says underline, and it gives you what they call a hotkey shortcut, a control plus U, but don't worry about that at the moment. It underlines the selected text. In this case it's a number. The beauty of having the format that we've chosen is we get a very neat little underline that fits beautifully in there. It looks great. So that's how one way we can add things together, by going equals that plus that, or that plus that. It doesn't matter which way you go. Another way we can do it is we can use this one up here. Now this operator up here is the auto sum function of Excel. It's very powerful. You can use it to save yourself a lot of time if you've got a lot of numbers. So what we can do there, let's go back. Well, let's just delete that formula out of there, and we just put our cursor on it and we delete it. So we've selected that cell, delete it, and now it's empty again, so there's no calculation. Let's put the AutoSum calculation in up there. Now, as soon as I clicked AutoSum, it assumed that I was going to add these two together. Now, these are what they call contiguous cells. This one has an entry and the next one has an entry. If there was a cell that was blank between them, they would not be contiguous. Don't get too hung up on that, but that's important for formulas. So it now says equals sum, open brackets, E3 colon E4 close brackets. It's just telling me it's going to add these together. And if I just take that as it is, I just press enter, and there it is. There's 173 again. Let's say move this down a little bit, and I can move all of these. I can select the ones I want to move, click right at the edge. If you want to move something, you just move to the edge until it turns into these little 4 arrows. And they tell you that if you left click, you can now drag that anywhere you like around the spreadsheet and let it go. If I let go there, it's there. Again, I've highlighted those 3 together. I'm going to move them down to, say, here. And I'm going to put another couple of numbers to add. And this is where it's really handy, because if I put 51 and 6 and 85 down there, they haven't added in, have they? Look, see, that still says 173, because if we double click on it, it's still only adding the 2 numbers immediately above. Now I can do 2 things here. Because these numbers are contiguous, there are no gaps, I can just do that whole sum function again, and it will assume that I'm adding all of these together. So let's start with that. Let's just delete that from there, and let's click the auto sum, and you watch what it does. Now it assumes I want all of those ones added together. It's so much faster than going equals that, plus that, plus that, plus that, plus that. Could do that, but this is much faster. Press enter. It's done. The total's 315. Now, we've got the adding sorted out. I hope that makes sense. Just practice it. You'll get the feel for it. Try using it with equals, plus, 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 and then try it with equals sum and use the auto sum up there. Let's go for subtraction. Let's take a number away from the 315. Let's take an easy number, 100, because we know what the answer is going to be, don't we? We're going to put a little underline under it again, and click that U with the underline there, and it gets a nice little bar across it. We're going to put a mathematical operator, formula. We tell Excel this is a formula by hitting equals. And we say we want to take a number away from this one. So we're going to say equals 315, hit the minus key, and we click the number we're going to subtract from it. So it's E8 minus E11, and you can see that there, and you can see it down here. And you press enter, and that's the answer, 215. So look, that's pretty much all there is to this very, very first basic lesson. We've learned about addition, about subtraction. We've learned to add 2 different ways, and we've learned a little bit about formatting, because we formatted that column, right click on it, we click on the left click at the top of the column, then right click on the selected area, and we choose format cells, and it's come up with number as accounting. Okay, look, thanks for your time. Go and practice your Excel and enjoy it, and we'll look forward to catching up with you right here on our next installment, our part 2 of module 1 of really basic Excel. Thanks. Roger from Red Fox here, signing off.